Thank you.
You're very
Robert,
welcome,
can you
Sarah.
just tell us kind of the agenda real quick on
Yeah,
how you're
because
doing it?
this is perfect because Nate doesn't know what I'm going to talk about. He's a panelist. Holly doesn't know what I'm going to talk about. She's a panelist. And Sarah, I just told her about 5 minutes ago what we're going to talk about. So everybody's very well prepared for this conversation. But if we can't wing it as realtors, we're probably not going to survive. Let's be honest. Everybody
I
raise their
mainly
hand in
wanted to
agreement to
know
that.
what time it's going to be to me, so I can, if I have to run, I can.
When do you got to run?
12:45.
12:45. Okay, perfect. So we're going to start with Tyler Slesk. He has some really great images, some market data that he's been helping his agents that he works with closely. If you don't know Tyler Slesk, he's with Bay Equity, but he's been putting together these marketing pieces for you to share with your clients. And I'm going to let him take away what exactly it is, but there's a lot of really good pieces because what is the number one thing we need to be on the hunt for as realtors right now? Listings. And it's not only right now, it's all the time, right? It's all of the times we need to be getting listings, but right now it's more than ever. We can't all be like Nate Schaefer and take 18 listings in the month of February. Everybody do a golf clap for Nate Schaefer taking 18 listings in the month of February. Very well done. We can't all do that, right? So knowing that in a shifting market, this is where agents that are established with a database are going to start to take market share from everyone else. And why? Can somebody tell me why that is? Why in a shifting market did the established agents start taking market share?
We already have the people to talk to.
Yep. You already have the trust. You already have the contact information. They already know who you are. And I think the key factor is that first thing is trust. Why in this shifting market are they going to a realtor that they trust, not just one they know?
It's too much unknown.
So much unknown. Because you pull up MSN News. I don't even know if MSN has news anymore because I don't even get on MSN News. But if you pull up any news article, right, and you start looking at real estate, all you're going to see is that real estate is blowing up all over the country, right? And then you have these conversations with what's going on with inflation, right, and the Fed taking on their balance sheet, right? If you understand the financial pieces of it, how much they've grown that financial balance sheet and what that's going to do to the value of the dollar. If we're talking about interest rates, right? How do all these things come together? How do they factor into what's going to happen in real estate? And that's why I'm going to let Tyler kind of take the lead right now and talk about this. And Tyler, I'm going to pull up while we chat your flyers that you're making. And if you want to just talk about those flyers and why you've put these three together, that would be really helpful to kind of help everybody see what the value is in them. Okay.
Robert, just want to make sure that you can hear me. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you now. It's a little buzzy, but I think everybody can hear him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. You guys, I just, I don't want to take a ton of your time, but I do want to just bring up a couple of just new marketing ideas that we've come up with. We all know that it's a very competitive market right now. And really, I think that we need to work together to be able to educate our clients. And so some of this marketing material is just that. It's education material. And it's material that we can all use to be able to show our clients that we are we're the experts, we're the professionals. And so you guys, I wanted to jump into just one topic that's extremely hot right now. And Robert asked me to address just right up front, but it's bidding over the asking price. And so you guys have obviously have to prepare your clients for that. And we do on our end as well, because there's really three ways that we can handle this and really approach this and just educate our clients. So number one is that, and this is kind of an easy way to address, bidding over asking price, maybe $10,000. So every $10,000 in a purchase price adds about $50 to a monthly payment.
Can you guys see this bid over asking price? Everybody can see this right here, right? Yeah. Okay, I just want to make sure you guys can see it. Sure.
So if we, again, you guys, if we tell our clients, hey, we're bidding $10,000 over, it makes a difference of about $50 in a monthly payment. That's not as intimidating as, hey, let's just, like, they're coming in with an extra $10,000 at closing, right? And so if we approach it that way to, hey, we can hide a little bit of this cost into the monthly payment, it doesn't seem as intimidating for our clients. The second way that we've been, just approaching this as far as an education method here. And I think that our clients need to be aware of this is if we are bidding over asking price, $20,000 to $30,000, they need to be aware that, hey, you may need to come in with a little bit of money, a little bit extra, of extra funds to be able to bridge the gap if that appraisal doesn't come in at value. And so we're exploring different options with our clients as far as, maybe putting a little bit less down, maybe instead of doing 10% down, we're looking at more 5% down options. So because that gives our clients a little bit of freedom or a little bit of leeway if that appraisal does come in a little bit lower than that bidding price. The third way that we're really just trying to educate our clients is what you guys see in front of you right here. Now this is based off of appreciation, just national averages. I think if you go to the top there, it's 4.05% on a yearly average. So if we tell somebody that they're buying, let's just say a $500,000 or let's see here, what total bid. So we had put in here, and I just sent this over to Robert. Nate, I think that you have this same sheet here, but so if they were going in and they were offering 475,000, or that was the asking price, after negotiations, we're up to 495. Really that break even point is about 1 year. So based off of average appreciations, that home is going to be worth what they paid for it in 12 months. And you can see the graph below there, it just continually, increases over the next 4 to 5 years, showing that the value is always going to be in that home. Now we know in real estate, maybe the market softens a little bit, but I do feel like this average of 4.05% appreciation year over year is probably a little bit lower than what we're getting right now. And I think you guys would all agree with that. And so these are just 3 ways that we've been able to somewhat educate our clients as far as the market that they're walking into, because we have to have these tough conversations with them as we're dealing with their finances. And I think that if we educate our clients up front and ourselves, the lender and the real estate agent are all on the same page, that really our clients do see us as that professional and take that advice. So is there anything, Robert, that you want me to add in at all there, or?
Yes. So starting with the asking over bid price, I wanted to go back to this. So you said $20,000 over asking price kind of adjusts to about a $50 per month increase in your monthly mortgage. Is that right?
So $10,000 equals about $50 in a monthly payment. Yep.
Got it. Okay. Just want to make sure that that's accurate, right? And
Sure.
So knowing that kind of a conversation is what we want to make it sound less dramatic, right? When we're having these conversations with our buyers to really get them to see the reality. So you put in here 4% average year over year appreciation. Who can tell me what the average appreciation is year over year from February 2020 to February 2021? Average.
Isn't it like 15.4%?
The average sale price in Washington County per the MLS was in 2020, okay, this is the average sale price, was $371,000. In February of 2021, the average was $502,000.
Oh my gosh.
That's a 35% appreciation year over year.
Wow.
Is anybody shocked at that? Please somebody tell me that they're shocked at that.
Well, that's what we're seeing, but I don't know why it did exactly that. I mean, I'm shocked that it happened, but that's what we're seeing.
That's the reality, right? That's just what the data says, right? So not only that, but the data also says is that the median sale price, which is the number I like to look at more because it eliminates these outlying factors, right? Because maybe we could say, oh, the luxury market went bonkers and that's why all of a sudden we had this huge price. Well, eliminating the low end, eliminating the high end, and looking at the median, it's still a 26% appreciation year over year. 26%. That is crazy, right? And we're looking at this as a 4%. We're looking at this as a 4% average. So if we're going to sit down with our buyer and say, okay, based off of this chart right here, appreciation, we have, I'm I'm trying to keep up with my people trickling in here slowly. Okay, I gotta make Katie co-host here for a second. Sorry, guys. Okay, so if we, don't let me forget, because then I'm recording this just so we can share it with anybody who's left. So if we look at this and you were to show the same graph in 2022 or say 2023, and we were just to have what we've done over the last year, right? We're still at 12, 15%. Right. And so I want everybody to know that if we're coming up into a market crash, right, is what everybody's worried about, right? Because we see these appreciated values going in 20% and 30% numbers. We have to say that the pendulum has to swing back the other way. So this pendulum's going up in appreciation. Not only do we have to come back to homeostasis of no appreciation, but then we got to go the other way for values to start to go down. And what's going to cause that to go down? What are the two elements in pricing?
Supply and demand.
Supply and demand, right? And what is it that we have a shortage of right now? What's causing the prices to go up?
The supply.
The supply, right? And if supply is low, and how long does it take to build a house, right? Let's just put that into our mindset, is that it's not that people are not selling their house, that they're not selling, right? And this is something that I want to continue to have this conversation around. It's not an inventory problem. We don't have an inventory problem. We have a supply problem in total number of homes, because we should have more than what we're having. What is the year-over-year change in the number of sold listings, the number of sold homes, right? A sold listing is a sold home. What's the year-over-year change in Washington County? 14%. So the unit number is up 14%. That's huge. Double-digit appreciation or a double-digit supply increase is great. That's good numbers. Those are healthy numbers for us as a market. Our demand is just that big, right? Our demand is so huge, which is causing that appreciated value. So supply is not going to catch up overnight because it takes time to build homes, and demand has to stop. Tyler, what's going to slow demand?
What's going to slow demand?
Yeah.
Interest rates.
You tell me.
Holly. You heard
Interest-
Holly. What interest rates, right?
I actually wanted to jump into that, Robert.
Yeah, go for it.
I was actually just thinking about a couple of different reports that I had read this morning, just as you were going through that. So right now, inflation is set at about 1.3%. We all know that the arch nemesis of low interest rates is inflation. And so the feds have said over and over again that they want to push inflation. And so there were some reports that had come out this morning that if you average out the monthly gain in inflation, by the end of May or early June, you're going to expect that 1.3% inflation to be in the mid twos. And so that means that interest rates are going to increase. There's just no doubt about it. It doesn't matter how much money the feds are putting into the mortgage-backed securities market right now. Inflation has a bigger impact on interest rates than what the Fed's pumping money into the mortgage-backed securities market does. So I do think, you guys, that interest rates are going to increase. I think that we'll see inflation relax a little bit towards the beginning of next year, maybe December or January of 2022. And so definitely expect for rates to go up. And I think that it's time for us to educate our clients that interest rates are going to go up. So if you're thinking about getting in the market and taking advantage of these lower interest rates, now is really the time, especially if you're bidding over that asking price. I mean, just like you had mentioned, Robert, I mean, it's not going to slow down. There's people moving here, that the demand is there, the supply is low. It's not going to change overnight. So in 2 months, you know, that those interest rates are increasing, and you know, now you're still bidding over asking price. So really your monthly payment's going to increase, you know, a ton more if we sit around and wait. So
yeah. So because I know I'm going to lose Nate and I'm going to lose Tyler, because I know you guys got a busy schedule. So I'm going to keep moving quickly, and I'm going to go on to these other report cards that you had, Tyler, because what Tyler's going to do is, if you are interested, reach out to Tyler, and he can get you a branded version of these reports that you can share in your buyer consultations or your listing consultations, whatever you're using. He'll give you a branded version of this for you, right, Tyler?
yes. Yep.
Okay, so if you want, make sure you reach out to Tyler to get these. I'm gonna need sharing back because I need to share the screen. Sorry, now I'm not the host anymore. see, this sucks. Can we just do it in person? Everybody wants to do this in person, right? Tyler, real quick, what's your contact info?
Phone number is 360-318-5833.
Email?
T.
I'm putting it in the chat too.
So TSLESK @BAYEQ.com. And if you guys want to see these individualized, yeah, just hit me up and I mean, it's pretty quick to be able to get this over to you. And it's personalized to our market here in the St. George area. So.
Okay.
So we're going to look at this one too. We're going to do the buy versus rent because I think this is a really good one, right, Tyler?
Absolutely.
Buying versus renting. You want to talk us through this real quick?
Yeah, I mean, really, it just shows over time how much money they're losing if they continue to pay rent. With the appreciation gains that are averaged out year over year, it just shows, you know, those people that say, oh, I'm just going to rent and you know, put that money into a different market. I mean, it just shows over time that you know, how much money they're going to end up losing. So
you put in here an annual rental increase of 5%. Where'd you get that number?
correct. That's just an average, just a national average.
Yep. And really what we want to think about is that the average inflation. So you said inflation was 1.3%.
1.2% right now, correct.
Somebody fact check me, Kara. The average appreciation, I think, over the last 100 years is 3% is the inflated value of the dollar. I believe. I think that's what it is. And so if we think of the value of the historical inflated dollar on just a long-term scope is at 3%. We're going to be mid-twos by June. We're still great, right, as far as what that historically is. And then if we think of annual rental increase, if you're not increasing your rents, if you're a property owner and you're a rental owner, because there's some of us on this call that are, if we're not increasing our rents by at least 3%, we're doing ourselves a disservice by the inflated value, right? So if this is saying 5%, we're talking about what the inflated value plus that margin, that profit margin on top, okay? So I just wanted to comment on that. What else here? Is there anything else on this sheet, Tyler?
I don't think so. I mean, it's pretty basic. It shows, you know,
Pretty
obviously
straightforward.
the larger cost up front, and then, you know, over time, just the amount of real estate and equity that you're building. So
Yeah, cost to sell, right, versus your tax benefits. So you got a $25,000 built-in tax benefit from owning, right?
correct.
I think that's huge. Amortization gain, when we talk about appreciation gain, you know, you're talking about huge gains in their overall wealth. And so if we're agents that are working on building our clients' wealth, because what's our best client, right? If we go back to the business part of real estate, who is our best client? A rich millionaire that's buying tons of real estate, right? That's going to keep buying real estate over and over and over and creating more wealth, right? So we could take somebody who's 19 years old, right? And say, hey, I want to make you a wealth builder and help them as a real estate advisor, as a real estate consultant, help them learn how to build their financial wealth so that when they're 35, instead of buying their first home, they're buying their 10th home. And now we have a consistent source of revenue, right? So we start with whether they're young or whether they're old, it doesn't really necessarily matter, but think of who our ideal client is and how we can start coaching them into wealth, building wealth, and why buying real estate is such a wealth builder, okay? So I think that's a huge opportunity right now to anybody that's young in this market that can afford to buy, even though the interest rates are high, even though it's competitive to buy, if they can make it work, this is a great time to do it. We can convince them to do it and know that it's in their best interest. Okay, what's this last one?
So
Tyler?
This is just the real estate report card. This will change on a monthly basis, so we can get updated numbers. It's just based off of again, historical data, forecasted data, and it does give data within the Washington County area as well. So this is
where are they getting the 160,000?
Say that again.
We're getting 161 population. Is that the county?
Yes. Yep. That's the county. So that's definitely not just the St. George area.
And I think that's probably short. I think that's low. In my opinion.
Right. Yeah.
I
And
think
especially in it, and this doesn't take into consideration as well. I mean, it's, you know, obviously we're you know, set to, there's some people that have said double and maybe even more in the next 5 years. And so some of these numbers could probably be adjusted a little bit based off of that.
Yeah.
Tyler, that was probably last week at 160.
Yeah.
Probably 180 now.
180, yeah. I like this actual homes being built, 2,000 homes being built, first time home purchases being taken from inventory, right? I think these are some interesting numbers that we can look at and look at with our client to see, hey, this is not a supply issue, or this is a supply issue, not a demand issue, right? Where in the last market crash, we had a big supply and we had a big demand. So when demand dried up real quick, we were still holding on to all this property. We need demand to really dry up to match up to that inventory issue that we have. Affordability index, Marcus has talked about this. Did I go blank here? Can everybody see
No,
me?
you're still talking. But do we have a metric that shows how many homes were being built this time last year?
I don't know. That'd be a good one. Tyler, what do you think?
I don't have one, Nate, but I'm sure that I could dig it up for you. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I'd be
Nate,
really
I'll do
curious.
anything for you, Nate.
Nice. We got great employment numbers in the state of Utah and in Washington County, and we have a good affordability index. It's still right around 100 is where we like to see affordability to stay at, right, Tyler? 100
Yes.
is right at the perfectly affordable.
Correct.
And so historically, we've been not as affordable, which is odd, right? Because you think, oh, well, St. George wages haven't caught up. Well, this is saying that the wages are actually coming up. This is telling us that the wages are coming up in our area. So affordability wise, now, is this the state of Utah or is this Washington County?
No, it's Washington County.
Perfect. Great. So we could see that it's a little expensive for how much people make here, but it's not completely out of whack, like I know I've heard a lot of agents talking about. So we're not too far out of the realm of affordable homes. I know the inventory and the amount of appreciation is making a lot of agents worried, but the reality is that it's still affordable to buy a house. Interest rates are still good. Tyler says they're probably only going to go up, and the appreciated value, it's a great time to start investing in real estate. If we're at 20% appreciation year over year as of now, then we can look at, you buy a house now and we're still on this rocket ship up, you're not going to be in a horrible position tomorrow, even if you're going to pay over asking, right, Tyler?
Correct. And I think it'll be interesting to see how these affordability numbers change over the next couple of months as interest rates continue to rise. Because I mean, just the slightest tick in interest rate, I mean, it could push some people out of their comfort zone a little bit. And so I think it'll be interesting to see how those affordability numbers adjust over the next 2 to 3 months.
Okay, Tyler, you're awesome, man. Thanks for doing this. Again, this is Tyler Slesk. I've just put his phone number in the chat box, and your email again, Tyler?
Is tslesk@bayeq.com.
eq.com. Let him know that you want these branded to you, and he'll get them to you. Okay, guys? Thanks, Tyler. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Nate, we got you for a little bit longer. We're going to talk panel, guys. So real quick, anybody have any questions? Okay, we're going to do wants and needs while I have Nate here. We're going to do wants and needs. Then we're going to get into talking listing, pricing, how to price right now. And then also how Sarah Smith, who's from Montana, new in this market, been here less than a year, used the Parade of Home to her advantage and has really started to build a big real estate business really quickly. So we're going to talk to Sarah a little bit about that. But wants and needs, okay? So as of right now, I'm going to start now. I have a condo in Canyon View that's 180,000. Tyler Call actually has it, but we're co-listing it together. 180,000 for a 2-bed, 1-bath in Canyon View, okay? For some reason, we've had a bunch of offers that are really low, and I'm trying to figure out why. They can get conventional lending on this. It's a perfect first-time home, especially for 180 grand. If we're looking at appreciation being 20% at 180,000, which there's been more sold for over 180 in that same Canyon View area. There's been 2 that have sold over 180,000 in the last 3 months, just the last 3 months. So if we just say at 120 at 26% appreciation, that's $40,000 in value if it just said 26%, okay? The same condo could be worth $220,000 in 1 year from now, okay? So if there's a first-time home buyer that can afford 180,000, even though they might not love it, it's a 2-bed, 1-bath, getting into that and turning it into an investment property, which they could do, is a great idea. So if anybody has a buyer out there, please let me know. We can get you in and see it, okay? What else? Wants and needs. Spray it out there, guys. What do you guys got?
I've got one, Robert. I need a 4-bedroom, 3-bath for under 500. And I never thought I'd say this, but that's almost impossible to find.
Under 500. What was the average? What's the average price point, guys?
500.
508. 508.
That's nuts.
What else? Nate, you took 18 listings, bro. Let's go. What do you got coming up? Smiles? Just smiles. Who
I have a
else?
client. I have a client coming in from California the first week of April. They will be financing it, but their home is getting closed right now. And they're looking for an open concept, something in the like 750 range. At least 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. They would prefer to have a pool if possible, or at least room for a pool.
Okay. Got it. That's a buyer need. What do you got
That-
coming up, Nate?
That times 2.
You have a
I one
buyer?
of those two, 750 to 825. Everything Sarah just said. Yeah. In Little
Okay, that's
Got a
Valley.
1.4
listing.
million in volume. That's 1.4 million in volume. Who's got a listing? Who's got
I've got
listings
a
coming up?
listing that's, it's withdrawn right now, but they would take an offer that is 5 bedroom with a theater, 3 bathroom. It's very open concept. They have like a meditation room in the backyard. There is room for a pool. It doesn't back to anybody, so you've got a view of Horseman Park Drive, and it's currently on the MLS as withdrawn at 789, but we're jumping it up to 814, and that should go back to active this week, if not the beginning of next week. So if anybody wants an appointment to see that, let me know.
Let's do it. 814. What else? What listings do we got coming up? Listings coming up.
I have a listing in Little Valley. It's a 4 bedroom, 2 bathroom, 1 level that is probably like 2,100 square feet. It only has a 2-car garage is the only downside, but the sellers would like to rent it back for at least 3 months, if not longer. So it would be good for an investor or something like that. Essentially, they're waiting until I kind of find the right buyer before we actually list it.
Sweet. That's perfect. Okay, so tell me the stats on that again.
4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 2,100 square feet, 2-car garage. It has a brand new basketball court in the back and RV parking. It'll be at about $499.
What size is
499.
the lot?
Excuse me?
The lot, what size is the lot?
Oh gosh, I don't have that. It's in like the Ents neighborhood over off of 3000 East. It has a decent sized backyard actually. Again, it has a full basketball court, RV parking. They have a hot tub in the back and a full yard.
Dave, would that work for your people that need to be under 500?
I was on a text to let Jesse in the meeting. Sorry, so I didn't hear.
So we got
please-
4 bed, 2 bath,
Yeah, how much
2,100.
was it?
4 bed, 2 bath, 499. 4 bed, 2 bath, 2,100 square feet out off 3,000 out there in St. George, Washington area, the Fields, Little Valley. RV parking, 2-car garage.
Who has this one?
Sarah Smith.
Sarah, would you email it to me?
Sure.
Thank you.
Boom. What else? Bo, what you got coming, dude? What's Bob Richards and Associates got a listing coming up? I'm gonna start calling everybody out. Let's do this, guys. Let's put some deals together. Sherry, while Bo tries to figure out sound, Sherry said she's got a horse property coming up, 625,000, 2,400 square feet. Sherry, where is it? Do you want to drop that in the chat? Bo, you ain't got any listings coming up?
I'll get with Bob and ask and see if we can throw these on the chat. We haven't had a team meeting in about 10 days, so
Okay.
I'm not super knowledgeable on that right now.
Nate, you got no listings coming up? Got anybody from?
I did them all in the first part of the year. That's all I got this year.
Oh, you just did 18 is going to be the max for you?
No,
Okay, who else?
I have another potential one that's it's a brand new build. It's got big views. It's like walkout basement, 700 square feet. Just a nice new style, kind of modern. But It's like 1.2.
1.2.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
Where's that at, Nate?
It's kind of on the ridges towards center of town, Four Master area.
Oh, Four Master. Okay. Okay. Thank you. I also have, forgot to mention, I am looking for a Coral Springs condominium. If anybody has one of those coming up.
Kaylee, Holly.
I'll find you one.
Okay, let me know, because I've got someone that's the only location they want. And I'm like, okay, perfect.
Are they cash?
They are cash.
Nice. Start making calls. Coral Springs. Everybody scramble to Coral Springs. Everybody better be calling Coral Springs today.
No, me, only me.
Only Holly better race everybody else to it. We have to get listings, guys. I can't say this enough. We have 24 people on this call, and I had basically 3 people tell me they have listings coming up. We got to do better. We got to do better. We have to start sharing stuff together. We have to get together. We have to start talking about what deals we have coming up and telling people what we need so that we can all have a purpose for when we call. We could call Coral Springs and say, hey, I have a buyer right now that's willing to buy one of your properties. Are you interested in selling? I don't know. What's the price? I don't know. What would you sell it for? Right? Let's start putting them out there. Let's start being salespeople and start piecing people together. Okay? Because we're not gonna survive. The market share is won when agents go and take the market share. If we're waiting for people to call us, it's not gonna happen. Okay? We got to go after it. And if we do it as a team, if we do it as an office, we have 159 agents in this office, and majority of our listings are all centered around 15 individuals. So those 15 individuals can start piecing some deals together. And as buyer agents, if we're really only working with buyers, we need to start ringing agents' phones saying, hey, what do you have coming up? I have these 5 buyers looking for homes. Somebody showed me it was like a piece of paper full of just buyers and who they needed. Oh, I think Jesse Paul has a whole list of people that are looking to buy. Okay. So, and he's a listing agent, right? So we want to make sure that we're passing this stuff back and forth. Okay, guys, real quick, Nate, before you leave, what are the things you're taking to account when listing and pricing homes? When you took 18 listings, how are you pricing them? Are you looking at the market, at the appreciation, and saying, okay, these are what the comps are, and this is where I'm placing it? How are you doing it?
Yeah.
No, comps don't work.
Okay. Tell me more.
You can't comp a home right now. I don't think that the CMA is a useful tool anymore, to be honest. Maybe you take it and add like, because here's the thing, if you do a CMA, I mean, maybe if you base it on like 2 months of history, and then you add like 10% or 15 to that, maybe you'll come close to what the comp actually is, what it'll sell for. But the truth is if you do that, it's still going to sell for that. It'll get offers at that, and you can force those offers to waive appraisals. You can do them to have them do whatever you want pretty much right now, so that as long as you find a buyer that's financially able to do that, and don't just base it off of them saying, okay, yeah, we'll waive all those contingencies. A lot of times they don't know what they're saying. Then it comes down to it, and all they're really walking away from is their earnest money. But you don't want that either. You want to know you're going to sell the home, unless somebody just wants to keep making 5 or 10 grand off everyone's earnest money every 3 weeks. But I don't think anyone's really looking to do that. And so you help them understand, the buyer agent or the buyer, really what they're committing to in order to really get that offer. But if you put it there that high, and then you're willing to take the time to weed through those buyers to make sure that somebody really has the finances to bridge whatever gap there is, or 20 grand or 30 grand or whatever everyone's okay with waiving up to that amount, because it might not appraise, at these numbers. I don't know what the appraisers are thinking, but they're not comping.
No.
So you have to kind of be very selective on the buyer.
I was talking to Daryl, and he told me that Ryan Kramer, all the listings he's taking, because if you're watching, he's taking majority of them. He's saying he's had more fallout in just the last 3 months than he's ever had in the history of him doing real estate in the last 15 years. He's had more fallout from going under contract as a listing buyers bailing out of deals left and right. So as a listing agent, walking into a for sale by owner and having that as an ammunition to say, listen, I know it seems like the market's really great, but you won't believe how many people are getting duped into getting under contract, going a bunch of time, not actually selling their house, and then a lot of times not even making any earnest money because they bail out before their earnest money deadline, right? Or they have buyers stringing them out, stringing them along. Historically, Dave and I have talked about this on a team meeting before. This is when wholesalers will get in and they'll start assigning contracts. So they'll be not real estate agents, go put for sale by owner homes under contract and then go try to assign it to somebody else and keep extending, because at 25 appreciation over 6 months, right? If we think of that, if we think 25% appreciation was 40 grand on that 180,000, that in 6 months they could make 13 grand by not doing anything, 20 grand by not doing anything, they'll do it. They'll try,
Robert,
right? And they
we've
don't
had-
have a license and they don't have any, there's no repercussions. They're not doing anything illegal. Dave?
We've had 315 cancellations since January 1 this year. That's how many have bailed out.
That's a lot of cancellations. Holy cow. That's a lot. So we want to take this ammunition with us to these listing appointments that we should be calling for sale by owners and showing them what the problems are. They're probably undervaluing their home. They're probably selling for less than what it actually is. None of them are guessing that that's up 30%. Okay. So Mel says Ryan only has 16 current active listings and 28 pending. His 28 pending and 16 active because they're immediately going under contract, immediately, over and over and over and over, right? And so as for sale by owners, they're probably leaving money on the table, one, because they don't think the appreciation is going as much as they are because they're not getting educated. Two, they're going to run into people still sharking, right? There's still sharks out there, even when the market's like this, and probably more so than other times. And knowing that these are the errors that are going to come up in these challenges and weeding through what offers are really quality offers, that's what's going to be the biggest challenge. Nate, what's another tip? What's one more tip for pricing homes?
I don't know what I'm doing. Why do you keep asking
Wing
me
it.
stuff?
This
I don't
is
know
because
these
this
answers.
is exactly it. This is exactly it. So Nate,
Okay, sure.
you are a very
Sorry,
smart guy
I'm
and you're
so
as humble as it
confident.
gets.
Okay. Hi, my name's Nate, and I know what I'm talking about.
Everybody
Okay.
thinks Nate's hilarious.
Sorry. Tips. You mean for pricing? I mean,
Are you just doing
every
this?
single one of these.
And just putting your finger up and just see how far the wind is blowing. You're like, let's just wing it.
I do this, and then I add 20%.
And add 20%.
Whatever that outcome is.
I was talking to Jamie Archibald, and she
No, the
said, well,
truth
what do you
is that the only thing you can base it off of is what you just did. And hopefully it was similar to what you're being asked to do, because it's changing that quickly is how it feels like. You can only go back about 1 month and and try to think through what you just experienced on and kind of piece it together.
Okay, I'm gonna do one takeaway. I'm gonna pull this takeaway for everybody else. I'm gonna pull this takeaway out for everybody else.
Please.
Kara, the last 3 listings that Nate sold, what are the stories behind them? How much did they go over asking for? Just roughly. Like, what did they roughly go over asking for?
20 to 30.
You're allowed to share, Kara.
No specifics. Just say I had a home priced at this. It went for this much over.
Hold on, let me pull some stuff up. You're
While she
asking
does
for
this,
Maybe not
so
that.
while
but-
she does this, this is what I want you to do. Take this story with you to listing appointments. Say these are 3 homes just sold, and tell them the stories. This was the price. This is what they sold over for. This is the price. This is what they sold over for. This is the price. This is what they sold over for.
10%, Kara, don't you think? 695 went for 750.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh.
3.
It's hard when you hear the numbers, when you hear them exactly. They're so we're real estate agents, and my head is exploding. What do you think that the consumer is not doing that same thing? This is how people are getting listings. They're
Oh, by the
blowing their
way,
mind away with how much money they can make.
695 comped for 635, sold for 750. I probably should have.
Yeah.
Kara, give me 2 more. Do you have 2 more?
I got one more ready for you.
Okay.
A 419 went for 430.
419 went
Cash.
for 430. Cash. Okay. So take a couple stories, okay, and start
comped
talking
for
about.
150. Just kidding.
Say that again. No, he's just being a clown. Okay, perfect.
I have
Hey,
one.
thanks. Holly's got one. Holly, give me a story.
So I have a townhome, vacation rental, townhome, I repeat. So we listed it at 599, again, about 30,000 over, because I sold one for 545 3 months before that.
Same one, same townhome?
Same exact townhome, identical. And we ended up closing it at 651. And we had another offer that was higher than that. It went 78,000 over asking. We chose to go with the other one. We
And
didn't.
you closed it. You
And we
closed it.
closed it. We
Okay,
closed.
now this is what everybody's asking. Well, if I find a listing, they don't know where to go. They have nowhere to go. Who says that? Who knows
Everyone.
that? Everybody's saying that, right? We're all having that problem. What's the objection handler?
Make it contingent on buying.
Make it contingent on buying. That is beautifully said.
There's
Because
actually
everybody's
an
gonna be
addendum
patient.
for that.
There's an addendum. Dave Weeks, the principal broker, everybody. Dave, tell us about that addendum.
Dave.
Use the addendums.
What addendum is it called? What's the title again?
All right, subject to the buyer locating a new property. I don't know exactly the name of
Sellers.
it, but
The
I'll give you
seller
the form. I'll give you the
It's
form.
subject-
Let me look.
It's subject to the seller finding a new residence.
finding a new residence. Yep, exactly. Thank you, Rebecca. So that's something that nobody's using right now, right? What if you're a buyer? What if you're a buyer and you put that in with the offer? Ever thought about that?
Oh, nice. Never thought.
If I'm the
about that.
buyer, I send a rep C with that addendum. Because I call Nate and say, Nate, hey, where are they going? They don't know yet. They might get an RV and move out to the freaking BLM. Like there's 75 people out there right now living out on the BLM. I don't know what it's called. Boondocking, I think is what it's called.
Robert,
So-
it's Form 18F.
Form 18F. That's how
Subject
you
to
search,
seller
guys.
acquiring new residence.
Okay.
Another thing with my buyers that I've been looking at is just doing that possession date further out so that it gives them a little bit of time so that if the seller, you know, they just are, they're not willing to go in and make an offer until they have something. So extending out that possession date has been helpful for some of my clients.
Yep. Now possession date extending out. If we extend it out too far, right, we get into short-term lease back area, right? Short-term lease back is up to 60 days, Dave, I believe. I'm not a broker,
Only
everybody.
on a
I
loan.
don't give any advice
If
as far
it's a
as brokers.
cash sale, they can go longer.
Cash sale, they could go longer, right? So if there's a mortgage on it, we want to be careful with going over 60 days in that possession time frame. But Sarah, like with your sellers, right, this would be a valuable piece to having a buyer and saying, hey, subject to you finding something else, right?
So that's the other thing too, is like I was counseling another agent the other day and like, as she was trying to write an offer, and it's like, you need to talk to the seller's agents and say, what is important to the client, and then cater and like make your offer around that. You know, if your buyer is willing to let them be in the house for a month or so afterwards, or figure out what is a win for those sellers. And that's the only way, is to craft those offers in a way that it stands out from the others.
And if you don't like the agent on the other side, how easy is it to do that? If they don't like you, how easy is it to do that? If you don't know them, how easy is it to do that?
You gotta,
Get
like,
over your
send 'em gift
bias.
cards.
Get
Just-
over your bias
you can-
first, right? If you don't like them. But
Yeah.
if they don't like you, if you don't know them, if you haven't built a relationship with them, these kinds of conversations are harder to have. They might just be like, just send an offer. Just send me, I have 55 million people calling me right now. Just send me an offer, right?
Ro-
You
But
can
if
catch more flies with honey.
we catch more
Yeah,
flies with honey,
yeah.
and we want to start building these relationships ahead of time. We have meetings like this once a week. What do you got coming? Tell me what's listings coming up. I got buyers. Let's put deals together. That's a win. That's really a win for everybody. The seller's happy. The buyer's happy. They don't have to go compete to make it $20,000 over asking. They don't have to. You could still make it $20,000 over asking, knowing that if they put it on the market, it's probably going to go that route, right?
Robert?
So, Dave.
One thing to consider here is there's an article we just put in Broker Support talking about offers going above appraised value and how to deal with those and how to protect the client, protect yourself.
Yep.
So just look on Broker Support. It's under offer above appraised value. That's the name of the article. Very important one.
Okay. We got 10 minutes left. We didn't panel really anybody except for Nate. Holly, tell me a little bit about the nightly, weekly market. Is the appreciation about the same as everything else?
Yes.
Oh, Bowman's next. Holly,
One,
what?
One thing real quick while we're on the topic of appraisals, when we got the new addendums released, there's an appraisal addendum that was just released. You can look at that. That'll help you on terms of putting in offers with appraisal value and things
It's
like that.
basically the same as what's in the broker support. Yeah, that's a good one. Thank you.
Yep, and we put it in the Facebook private page as well. I think Katie posted in there the new forms that had just been released too. So if you're looking for the new forms, that's where they're at as well. They should be everywhere, but if you're specifically looking for them, they're there. Holly, tell me about nightly weeklies.
Okay, so I do feel like the values actually are a little bit even going a little bit more, just because our demand is so high. I mean, it's
As an investment, right? Like as
Yeah.
it being an investment.
Yeah, as an investment, our prices have gone up, I think even higher as far as I don't have a percentage on them, but I do feel like just because of the demand and trying to find anything. As far as vacation rentals, there's just not a lot out there. You got to really look for them.
Yep. You got to really look for them. You got to dig them up. But if we know that they're appreciating quicker than the rest of the market or as quickly, and it's an investment, we use that appreciated value number where we take, oh, okay, you bought it for X and it's valued at Y. And in a year from now, it could be this much, plus you're getting the income because everybody wants to travel these days, right? Everybody, especially driving distance, going to Zion, right? COVID really pushed Utah, at least Southern Utah on the map, in my opinion. We had 4 million visitors to Southern Utah last year, 4 million during COVID, where people were scared to leave. We had 4 million, and that's a record. I think 3.5 in 2017 was the other record.
Yeah, I know Red Sands broke records from the past, tripled August. August tripled from the years past.
Don't tell me what I can't do, because that's when I'm gonna do it, right?
Right.
Yeah, don't tell me what I can't do, then I'm gonna do it. Tell me I
Yeah.
can't travel, I'm going, right? That's exactly right. Last piece that I wanted to ask, Sarah, you crushed the parade of homes, running a parade home. Tell me what you did and how you did it and what it's led to.
Yeah, had the listing. I put in a lot of long hours, was there chatting people up. I didn't have this plan. I was trying to do like a promotion or something that I would like give something away so that I could get people's contact information. And within the first couple of days, I realized that everyone wanted the design details of the property. So paint colors and things like that. So I quickly put together a design packet. And then I created a QR code that allowed them to go into my CRM and request that. And then followed up with all of them. I got over 300 leads from it, and name, email, address, and phone number. And a lot of them are looking to buy or sell, and it's been really good.
You had 300 leads over that week.
Yeah.
300 in person. You met them face to face, in-person leads the week of the parade home. Okay. You weren't giving tickets away. You weren't running a promotion. You weren't giving anything away other than the design information for that actual house. And that was only the one house.
Yep.
That's insane. The last number I heard was the first 2 days, when the first 2 days of the parade, they had 25,000 scans. 25,000 scans in 2 days. That's crazy, right? So if she had 300 leads, how many other parade homes, and how many parade homes did you walk through where there was no realtor sitting in anywhere? How many parade homes didn't give the design information out?
What's interesting too is like you have to be willing to like adjust and change, you know? So like when I started, my plan didn't work. Like I was trying to get their name, email address, and phone number with a giveaway, but nobody cared. It was a $3.6 million listing and no one cared that I was giving away a Michael Kors purse. Like literally they didn't care. And so then I was hearing and listening, like, so you need to listen to your clients of like what was important to them. I figured that out. And then even like the QR code, I was having them text something. My conversion rate wasn't great. When I switched it to a QR code rather than a text message, my conversion rate went through the roof.
Well done. That's awesome. I think this is a great lesson that now you can set up. Mel posted in the chat real quick, plug. If anyone needs interior design or staging services, call Rusty and he'll be able to take care of you. So thinking about the parade home for next year, we had a year ahead of time going and being a part of Southern Utah Home Builders Association, finding out which builders are going to be in the parade, building relationships with them, finding out which ones don't have a realtor. Say, you know what, I actually don't even want to be your real estate agent. I'd love to just have a booth at your in your garage. If you haven't sold it, I'll try to help you sell it. No obligation, right? No obligation to pay a listing or anything. I'll try to sell it. And you sit there in the booth for the week and collect leads, not just give out parade tickets. Go work the parade in the garage for one of the parade homes. To me, you showed me, Sarah, that the way we've done parade homes in the past can be done completely different, right? As real estate agents, right? So there's a huge opportunity there. We got a year to plan for it. So I think if you guys go to work, go find builders, go find the builders that are going to do parade homes, but build those relationships. We need land, we need homes to build. If I have a buyer that can afford a 700 or above home, I'd go buy them a new build. Okay, go find them land, go find them a builder, go build them a home, and go on to the next one. Because you're spending all the time hunting down for a property that they might not find and they might go find on their own. If you could get them under contract, just have them build, the bang for their buck is in the builds. I think builds are underpriced, overpriced, overvalued, undervalued, right? There's like some people out there that say, hey, this is overhyped or this is underhyped. New builds are underhyped. There's tons of value in a new build. I highly recommend that if they build now, it's going to be worth significantly more by the time they move into it. Just by the time they move into it. So go take advantage of that. Go educate, especially the ones with money, how they can build additional wealth. Go build new, and their equity is going to be compounded. Got it? Is this helpful? I'm down to 20. We were at 24. I lost 4. Okay, one of them being Nate, which doesn't count. We need to have 50 people at these team meetings. The wants and needs thing is not going to work. Do we need to see in person? Do we need to meet in person? Is that what everybody's saying? I don't have any videos on either, so I can't even tell. Do we need to be in person? Yes. Yes. Okay. So we're gonna really push. We put a lot of effort into trying to get these meetings together, and I put a lot of effort. Sometimes I don't prepare my panelists for what they're going to talk about, but I put a lot of effort in making sure that you guys are going to get value in these team meetings. If we get more people to them, invite anybody, because these aren't Keller Williams conversations. These aren't Keller Williams conversations. These are real estate agent conversations. Bring anybody in real estate that knows about what we're talking about or having similar issues and challenges. Bring them to the team meetings. It's not a sales pitch. We need to be marketing to each other as realtors. Our town is going to get really big and the agent population is going to get really small because the market is tough. You know what? You know how many agents did not renew their license? What percentage of agents did not renew their license last year? Guess.
No idea.
Somebody guess. Give me a number.
I say
7.
3.
42 is the answer to everything. 96% of real estate agents did not renew their license last year. 96.
Oh my gosh.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. Bill, I agree. That's awesome. Scram. If you're not going to do the business, scram. Right? Stop
Robert,
taking
is that NAR? That's NAR?
UAR. Johnny Christensen ran that number. UAR.
Holy smokes.
Just in Utah.
Just in Utah.
Yeah.
Robert, one quick comment, and I feel like the Keller Williams Facebook page is really helpful as far as like doing those wants and needs. I hope this is okay to say, but I did create a Facebook page of just like realtor wants and needs so it would be for people even outside of Keller Williams, just to help each other network. So if anyone wants to join that, it's on Facebook. I created the group for people. So
yes. So some of us aren't using Facebook. So I want everybody to know we got to land in a place to where we can share these wants and needs. If we're going to have an email, okay, if we're going to do an email to our agent roster, okay, the agent roster, I'm going to write this down so everybody can go in their Google Drive because everybody has it. So if you're KW email or whatever your email you get KW emails from, okay, go into Google Drive and it's KW roster official. And it's -2021, okay? That's what the name of the drive is. It's our entire agent roster, okay? We're gonna do a subject line, okay, a subject line, and tell me if you wanna add or subtract anything from this. I have a coming soon listing, okay? Coming soon listing, all in caps. So everybody can say, oh, I'm gonna search coming soon listings and get all of the stream of everybody's coming soon listing, okay? You exit your listing appointment, you're like, I'm gonna go send an email out to my agents, okay? Coming soon listing, we're gonna do the beds, baths, square footage, okay? Lot size, and price, obviously. I'm gonna put price first, okay? Price, beds, baths, square feet, lot size, and location. As specific or as generic as you want to get, right? Because you're like, I don't want to tell people like what, because all of us agents are all like, oh, this is my listing. I don't want anybody to get it from me. Oh, I don't want to tell anyone. Okay. Put the location in, whatever that location is, right? The fields or Four Master-ish Ridge, right? Did you hear Nate like real wishy-washy around where it was, right? It's really hard for agents to just tell everybody where it is. It's 123 Banana Street, right? Put the location, the general area, because I know a lot of our buyers are specific. Location is a big deal to a lot of our buyers here locally, okay? So coming soon listing, price, beds, baths, square footage, lot size, and location. Anything else? Because I want a one-liner in the subject line. In the body, it should just say, thanks. And nobody responds to those emails except for communicating directly to that agent. Give them a call, right? Because we don't want these big threads of chains of everybody like, nope, don't have anyone, sorry, right? It's not helpful to like organizing our email inboxes, okay? Subject line, okay? Oh, is it rentable? Perfect. I don't know who iPhone is, but iPhone said it's also rentable. Your microphone should work. Hopefully it works, and your camera would work too. That'd be great, because these are weird. Just so you know, iPhone. Okay, we're gonna do, is it rentable? Rentability. Okay, there you go. I can't spell. Anything else? What should I put in there? We're down to 19. I lost somebody.
I gotta go, bye.
What is that drive info? Okay, coming soon listings. Okay, KW roster official 2021. That's the Google Drive name of the roster, and you can also find it in your UAS app. Okay, I know if you got to go, you can go. I'm recording this. The UAS app. If you don't know what it looks like, I'm doing this for the recording. Okay, the UAS app. Okay, roughly what it looks like. The app logo. Okay, the UAS app. If you go into directory, that has every directory of every United Agent Services agent. Okay, that has every person in there. They should have their name, their phone number, their email if they've set up their profile. But you can message them directly out of the UAS app, or you can get their contact information. So if you don't go to Drive and you just pull up the directory, you can pull up the directory and search through directory if you know the name. Okay, so the entire roster is in your UAS app as well. You can message out of there, broker supports out of there. You can do your conference rooms out of there. It's part of what you guys pay for to be here. It's a huge tool. I highly recommend you use it. Okay. Anybody else? Any other questions? Where is this? Shauna, I'm not sure what you're talking about. Where is what? Where is the list?
I don't see the roster in my drive.
Yeah, you gotta send us a link to what is the exact address for getting that drive information.
You should, everybody should have it.
We don't.
You do.
Pull it up right
Everybody has it shared with them. Look under, if you're going into Drive, look under shared with me.
Okay, if you don't have it, shoot me an email. If you don't have it in your drive, shoot me an email. And it's also in the Facebook group, but that's okay. We'll get it to you.
Look under shared with me.
Shauna, yours is going to stgdreamhomes.com. stgdreamhomes.com. That's where your drive is at. I just found it. Google Drive shared with me. Got it.
I found mine. It was under a different email.
Mel, it's melvin.nimer@trustedhandsreg.com.
Okay, thanks.
It's also at rusty.james@kw.com. Who else? Anybody else? Okay, guys, I made it. It's only an hour. Hopefully it wasn't a waste of time. Hope you got some value out of it. You guys have a great day. And awards, April 22nd, or March 22nd, not April. March 22nd. March 22nd, we're going to the Fish Rock Grill up at the Ledges. Have a really nice lunch. Everybody get together. We'll celebrate our success from 2020 because there was a lot of success in 2020, and hopefully we'll have even more success this year. You guys have a good day. We'll talk to you later.